Boom. What's up? Hey guys, been sick the last couple of days, so you guys know that from my last stream that I was sick. I'm still sick. I can still feel it. But I slept pretty much all day yesterday, took some meds, and now today, since I see that people are actually getting their IdeaFormer V2s now, I figured it's in the public eye. People are getting their hands on them. I will now say I have this printer. It is here. I can physically touch it. It's no longer CGI. Um, Not only that, but I did post this on their IdeaFormer Facebook group. It is currently pending post. I don't know if they'll let it go through, and if they will, we'll see how many people show up. You kind of want one, Tor? You do want one, Tor. I mean, it's not a kinda. You do. I mean, it's a belt printer. If you don't have a belt printer, you want a belt printer. If you have a belt printer, you probably want another one. And being as it is Clipper, that does make it a little more appealing to me. I like Clipper better than Marlin, just because I like the ability to configure and change things. So that's why I like it. Let's go down the line. Vince, good to see you, sir. Zach, good to see you. Hope you have a safe trip, or if you're already there, I hope you're having fun. Built Over Bot, good to see you, Bob. Tor, good to see you. And Filament Vic, good to see you. Belt is one of the few you haven't tried yet. Da Vinci, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. So, that being said, though, guys, yeah, you do want one. Dom, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Bear with me, guys. I get vertigo. I've told you guys this before. So if I seem a little off or a little weird, please understand that because I'm sick and it's mostly head cold, the ears have been playing tricks on me. Yesterday was the first time I've ever had this happen. If any of you have vertigo or had vertigo, have you ever had this happen? I got caught in a dizzy spell. I was laying down and I had my head tipped back a little bit, and all of a sudden the thing started to spin real bad. My muscles in my neck tightened up. So I spun over to my side to try and plant myself. So I spun over to my side. And when I did, everything felt okay. And I went to sit up. But when I went to sit up, I sat up like this. Have any of you ever had that? Like, I'm wondering, am I the only one who's ever experienced something so awkward with vertigo? Like, I legitimately, when I went to sit up, like my whole body, my upper torso was spinning, like spinning, getting up. Am I the only one that's ever experienced that, or has anybody else had vertigo that's had that as well? I do apologize that I'm talking about myself first. We'll get to this, I promise, but I want to explain why I've been a little absent. Um, Also, how's the audio? I got the mic up here now because I wanted to do the hat thing. I wanted to be like the TikTokers and be cool and put it on my hat. Plus, then this way I can do this. And if I cough, it's not on my chest. So hopefully that'll be a little bit nicer. We're getting up there, Dan. Yes, Vic, we are. We are. Uh, More so if the AC is involved. Sounds good. All right, Tor. Thank you, sir. I know that I could amp up the audio a little bit. I bumped it up one dB because Old Curmudgeon said maybe 1 dB, so I kicked it up, so it is there. But I figure it probably should be good. The last time I did that when I was playing around with this, I listened to the audio and I didn't notice a huge difference to go from here to here. And at least here, like I said, I'm not usually touching my head. Plus, I'm giving free promo to KB3D for that. You know, it's my KB3D mic holder. I do have a TH3D hat. I just got to find it, and then maybe I can, pimp out TH3D a little bit. I need to get. I'm realizing the way I sit with my camera, I need the logo on this side of the hat more so. Just throwing that out there, you know. But I want to show you guys something. So I took the flying bear real quick. I got to talk about the flying bear, the Ghost 6. I sliced a file for it and I sent it to the printer through Wi-Fi. Okay, so I used the built-in Wi-Fi to send this. So when you see this, I don't get it because I sliced one on an SD card and I sent it, through SD to it, or printed it on SD, and it printed just fine. But when I sliced it and I sent it in through Wi-Fi, I'm going to show you my Dapper Dan duck. First, let me show you a Dapper Dan duck. Okay, this is a properly printed Dapper Dan duck. See, little legs wiggle, and he's like this big, and everything is cool. That right there is what came off of the Ghost 6 when I sent it over Wi-Fi. Do you see an issue? Do you notice anything weird about that duck? He's a little smushed. And the legs, the legs don't move. Everything is kind of fused. He's just not a happy little guy. So, yeah. The IdeaFormer group, I don't think is probably going to approve that, which is fine. Because I don't think they want anybody talking about it just yet. They want to get it out there first, which is fine. Do you get dizzy using Oculus and goggles? Yes, Vic, I do. Um, that's why I've wanted to get into drones and doing drone stuff, but anytime I put the goggles on, it messes with my equilibrium, and it's like my body's supposed to be moving even though it's not, and it messes with me. So yeah. Ooh, exciting. Just a little short. Yeah, just a little bit. The funny part is it's on the Z because if I line them up size wise, he's pretty much the same on X and Y. It's just on Z that he smushed. So it's weird that I sliced it and sent it over wireless, and that's what happened is the Z got all smashed up. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let me see something. Did I actually put that in here? Phantom printer. Yes, I did. Boom. Connect. So if you have the K-Pad or K-Touch, that's it. Yeah, the K-Touch from Big Tree Tech. I did the recent update for it. So it's at 1.1. Whatever. And I do have that guy over there in it. We named this one the Phantom printer. Phantom, not Phantom, Phantom printer. If I go to Axes and I hit home, you can kind of see it moving back there. There you go. See? So it's like a clipper machine. It's controllable through the K-Touch. So if you have a K-Touch, it'll work with it. So there you go. There's the big question. Will it work? Yes, it's clipper. So yes, it will work. You see white spots if you're standing, or if you stand up too quickly and lose balance. Yeah. Filament Vic, my vertigo. First off, you can tell it messes with my speaking. I don't know if you've ever had that issue where like you try to speak, but your brain does a double, triple, quadruple take on what you're trying to say, and it messes with you a little bit. So, but yeah, the vertigo messes with my standing, sitting, laying. Like I have to find specific ways to lay so that I don't get dizzy. Um, Usually if I lay on my side and I lay with my head like just a little more elevated. So like if I'm laying on this side, I would tip my head this way and lay on my side with extra pillow to keep my head up. I'm good. If I lay on my back, I have to lay with my head elevated. If my head tips back just a little bit, I start to spin. Um, Usually when I move, I'll move like my whole head when the vertigo is messing with me. I'll move my whole body. I won't just twist my head or snap my head because if I do that, it will cause me to get a little like dizzy as well. Trip over your own feet. Yep, Zach, that's same. Your CGI person is working overtime. Yeah, no, actually, Bob, we admit it. It's real. It lives. It's real. It's here. It's in person. I'm seeing in their group that people are receiving their printers now. So now I won't be that asshole who has a printer before everyone who has has purchased it and is waiting for it. I'm not that asshole anymore because people are getting their printers now. I'm seeing on the Facebook group people are posting pictures of their printers and the prints that they're getting off of them now. 14 hours ago, it did say that backers waiting for tracking numbers. We are sending out the express shipping. So some backers are receiving their printers. Some backers are still receiving their codes or their tracking numbers. So since backers do have their printers, I'm not a jerk anymore. So the free one always goes out first. Yeah, well, I can't say, I can say that I didn't pay for mine, but I can't say that it was free. You know, I mean, I didn't pay for it, but I got it. But we're going to play around with it, like dig into it a little bit, because I do have some errors or some issues that I'm seeing, and they don't have any firmware out there yet or any updated config files for it. So I'm hoping that some of my Clippery friends can help me and we can Clipper make this, better. Because one of the issues I'm having, let me jump to, move my water bottle. Let me jump to Benchcam. There we go. Now I'll show you guys something here when I tell it to home. Oh, I tell it to do a leveling actually. So I'm going to hit the leveling and I want it to do a level. Oh, I whipped my head. See, it errors out. You can see the error on the screen there. Let me go ahead and load up my the web browser for it. Okay. So I'm going to bring up the right screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about there. There we go. Sorry. If you notice, it says probe triggered prior to movement. I'm getting at every time I try to run a calibrate, it's not moving Z up enough. It has an effector on the hot end for probing and whatnot. So I'm having an issue and I've tried changing some stuff. The only thing I can figure is I need to tell it to move Z. I need to have it force Z to move up a little bit before it does any calibration. And it's not moving up far enough. If I can get a camera in closer, I wish I could. You guys would see that Z does barely move. I'm trying to untangle a bunch of cables to get you guys in closer, so bear with me. Yeah, it's not going to get in close enough that you guys will be able to see it. I do apologize. Let's see if the printer's camera itself. Oh, it's doing that thing again. Hold on. Let me go into sources and properties and fix the camera. Okay. You guys can kind of see the hot end there. Let me turn the camera a little bit more. There you go. All right. I'm going to home everything, and then we're going to do that again. So bear with me while I home. You can see that it moves. It comes over, and it goes back down and touches, and then it stops, and it's fine. But if I tell it to do a calibrate now, so let me go back to tune. Killer Prince, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Let's go ahead and hit calibrate. I'm going to hit calibrate. It's going to go up. It's going to come down. It's going to touch, and then it's going to error out right away. It says that the probe triggered prior to movement. So I'm trying to remember in the config, this is running fluid, but the printer config is the printer config. I'm trying to remember or figure out how to tell it that once it does that to, is that in safe homing? Where is it that I would tell it that I need it to move after it touches? I need it to move additionally. Does anybody, any of my Clippery friends smarter than me, obviously, that can help me in adjusting that in the Clipper config? Because I'm using the default config provided from IdeaFormer. And this is the error that I keep getting. So, because when I go into the config, I did have to make a change in one spot to override that. The issue is when I'm telling it to do a calibrate, it comes down and it touches, and then it stays against the build plate. It doesn't back off just a little bit more. No, the end stops, everything is fine with the end stops. It's just that it's still touching enough that it's tripping the effector. There's a smart effector in the hot end, and it's still tripping it just a little bit. It's making contact and it's tripping against the belt. So it's not moving off the belt enough. I just need to figure out where it is that I need to tell it in the clipper config to move that off the build plate just a little bit more. So it's not an issue with the end stop being inverted, because it's not. It's all wireless. You'd be tripping. Yes, I am tripping. What's up, W? How is WFO? Been a while since I've seen you, man. I hope you're doing well. Homing retract distance. Yeah, let me bring you guys up on the config file, and let me increase the font size of said config file so you guys can read it a little easier. And then when we go in, let me go into, because it does use Z safe homing. There's the Z stepper, extruder, temperature for the IR3. Then you've got the motherboard, you got the host, you got the fan, head 2, which is interesting that they call it head 2. Bed mesh, because this is where I'm at. I'm trying to run a bed mesh, and it says move Z3 or move Y3. Should I change my horizontal move Y from 3 to something else? And I cannot mess with like the mesh min and max, of course. Got to leave those alone. You pass the Z stepper, set to 0, increase to 5. Z stepper. Okay, hold on. Let me back up. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, homing retract distance, set it to 5. Okay, I have it set to 0. I don't know why, but let's change that to 5. We'll save and restart, and we'll see if that fixes the issue. Killer Prince, if that's all it is, I'm just really stupid, man. It could be just the haze and the fog of being sick lately that I overlooked that when I was playing around. But let's go ahead now and hit home all. You can see the printer in the background there in the little picture. It's moving over, touching down, moved up. And, I whip my head back and forth. Okay. I'm waiting for it to stop doing whatever it's doing. Just thinking, hey, Killer Prince, I'm hoping you're right, man. I'm hoping that was it. Right now, I'm just waiting for it to finish doing whatever the heck it's doing. Just learn something. Yeah. I'm waiting. It's still spinning on homing for some reason. Okay. Well, yeah, I hit homing after I changed that, and now it's arguing with me a little bit here, because technically we're not changing Z, you know what I'm saying? That's what I figured. Z end stop triggered after retract. We're not supposed to change Z, we're supposed to change Y, right? Because we're going to move it on the Y up away from the belt. So messing with Z, I don't think is the right thing. I think we have to change Y. That's why I think there's an issue. Interestingly enough, I do that and it's triggered because it's up to 5. So let's put that back, and let's just go back in and see if making Y move. So we'll change this back to 0, and we'll save and restart. And then we'll go back into tune once it restarts, of course. Now we're going to home all again, and we'll see if it'll actually home. It's moving, goes over, comes down, touches, lifts up, comes back down, and now it's done. Now if we hit calibrate, let's see what happens. Yep, triggered after move. Belt specific thing. Yes, exactly. See, I'm not crazy. All right. Killer Prince, I'm glad we're both not wrong, but we're both learning together. So that's why I was wondering if it's something on Y. So that's why I was going to come back down here and look in the bed mesh where it says horizontal move on Y is 3. I'm thinking I'm going to change that to 5. And now let's go ahead and save and restart and see if at 5 that does anything. See if it errors out in the firmware. And if it doesn't, let's go back to tune. Let's home all again. See if it'll home properly. Okay, now let's go to calibrate, because it didn't argue there. But we're going to calibrate. It's going to come down and touch. And nope, still triggered after move or prior to movement. Okay, so we're still getting that triggered prior to movement, so we'll change that back because there's no point in leaving something that isn't correct. Put that back at 3. Mesh minimum is set 0 to 3, and mesh max is set 250 to 3. I can't really, I've tried playing around with these numbers, but it breaks things, and I don't want to break stuff. So it just keeps breaking things when you mess with those. But I could be wrong, and we could have a fix in there if somebody knows. Like if I set the min to 1 instead of 0, that would just move it in. I'm assuming that would just move it in from 0 to 1, which would mean you'd mesh in 1. And it's at 3, so I don't know. But let's go to safe homing. Again, XY position is 0 and 5. So X is at 0 and it moves up to 5. So that part's working because it is moving up to 5. Oh, Z hop, change that maybe. Wait, hold on. Do I have pull-up resistor set on the end stops? We'd have to go look. It is all sensorless. There is no switches, so I don't think pull-up would be an issue. I mean, they wouldn't work, I would think, since they're sensorless. Um, but it said Z hop. Yeah, that's why I'm wondering if I set Z hop from 3 to 5, if that'll take care of it. Let's find out. It doesn't hurt to try it, right? Save and restart. And let's see if we jump that up to 5, if that'll fix the issue for us. So we'll go back to tune. We'll go back to home all. I'm kind of watching in the camera because I don't want to whip my head real quick over to see it, but it did home. Now we can calibrate, so let's calibrate and see if it goes. Comes down slow, taps, still triggered prior to movement. So that did not fix it either. So we'll close that, go back into the config, printer config. We'll set that back to 3 because, again, I don't want to, make changes permanent if they didn't work. But yeah, pull-up resistor set on the end stop. Like I said, we can take a look. Joining late. Have you done a Z end stop calibrate already? Hold on. Save and restart. I have not. Trying to just do a calibrate on the bed. Hold on. Let's go back to isn't it just Z underscore end stop underscore calibrate, right? If I remember right. I'm trying to remember my clipper commands, guys. Usually I have I just make macros and then forget what the hell is in the macro. So macros make life easy. Y for the belt machine? I believe so. It's a Core XY machine flipped on at 45, and I can't remember if Z is actually Z or if Y is Z in this case. Raising enough after 0. Yes, that's the problem we're having, Bob. It's still triggering after it does, when it goes to do calibrate, it comes in to do the first calibrate, and it's not lifting high enough off the bed to let the effector know that it's off the bed. It still thinks it's pressed up against the bed. It's using a smart effector, or at least in the print config, that's what I'm seeing. According to the config file, it says effector. See, smart effector for that. You got speed 1, sample 2, distance on retract is set to 3. So maybe it's in that. Lift speed is 2, recovery time is 0.1. Maybe I set the recovery time a little higher. You have a negative end stop min for your Y. Good question. I do not know, Killa. I'll have to check that part too. Should be in the calibration sequence. So in the effector, though, we do have a sample retract distance is set to 3. And then we have the time, recovery time is set to 0.1. Um, so is any of that something you guys think might be affecting this issue? It is doing an average, and it is doing a tolerance retry set to 2. Um, so obviously it's doing a double tap every time. We can try changing the distance to 5 there, and let's see. Try the wait time first. Okay, so let's go back and we'll leave that at 3. And the recovery time, set that to what? Instead of 0.1, should I make it like a little more, a little less? 0.5, 0.9, make it 1 even. That way it waits like a full. Okay, hold on. I got to get caught up. You guys are all saying a bunch of stuff, so let me read real quick. Try the wait time first. Z safe homing, Z hop. Um, try retract on the smart effector. Double it. Is yours set to 3? The sample retract was set to 3. Um, and then samples is only 2. Try retract in the smart effector. All right, we're gonna try the retract first. So let's turn that up to 5 because that's where I was kind of going to. So I'm gonna go with Tor on this one first, guys. Give me just a minute. Let's take a look. Bump that up to 5. We'll come back here to system, or not system. Yeah, we'll come back to tune. Sorry, and let's home all. Homing jumped up. All right, let's calibrate. It's coming down and touching, and still triggers right out the gate. So I'm wondering if that time is actually going to be the issue. So let's go back into config, printer. We'll set this back to 3, and we'll change our recovery time. You say double it, so we'll go 0.2. Save and restart. Now let's go ahead and home. Okay, let's calibrate again. Jumps up, comes down. No, still tripping prior to trigger. So let's go back to home or to config. Let's go to printer. I wish one of the guys that actually had this could just pull off his print file, his config file, and share that. That would be awesome. Because I would assume his went out and is working. And all I did was exactly when it broke, I just rebuilt the image and then just copied over the last config file I was told was a good config file. And this is a problem I've had since I redid it. So Filament Vic says your Z safe homing, Z hop, set yours to 3. Okay, I think it is at 3 right now, but let's go look. Come back down here. I am sweating profusely right now, guys. I am still kicking this bug's butt, but we're not giving up. We're going to stream for a while today. Find Z safe homing. Control F. Z hop. Whoops. Z hop. Is it like Z underscore hop then? What the heck? There we go. Yeah, Z hop is set to 3. So yeah. So negative end stop for Y axis. Let's take a look at the Y axis now because I've done everything, checked everything that we've already said. Let me look at the Y end stop. End stop is set to 0. Change it higher. For Z hop, okay. So let me go back to safe homing and we'll change that again. But it is currently set to 0 for the other uh, bed mesh. No, we want Z hop. Okay. Set the Z hop higher. We'll set it to 6 because we tried 5 and that didn't seem to work. So let's try going up one more to 6. We doubled it from 3 to 6. So let's see what happens now. We're going to tune, home all. It's jumping, moving out, moving back. Poity, what's going on? Hey, maybe Poity will be of assistance since he's here. Poity, we're trying to fix my issue when I go to probe. It comes in, it touches down, and then gives me the probe triggered prior to movement. So everything I've been trying in Z-Hop and whatnot hasn't been seeming to work. Like I changed my Z-Hop in Pro or in the Z-Safe homing. Whoops, put it back to 3. Anything you can think of. Do an endstop test real quick. All right, well, let me save and restart. And then let's go to system. And isn't it under system? Or is it under settings? Where the hell is it in fluid? I'm not good with fluid. I'm still kind of learning fluid. Is it under? There it is. Okay. Refresh. Currently X and Z say triggered, Y is open, and probe is open. So they have not released anything yet for firmware updates on this tour. There's nothing released yet, which sucks. Let me look and see if there is actually end stops, and I'm just stupid. But I thought this thing was sensorless. Let me disable the steppers real quick. Config. Nope. Under homing? Disable motors. It's under homing. Okay, motor should be disabled. Let me see. Yeah, there is no end stop switch. Wait, yes there is. Okay. So there is one here. Let's move this up and see. Okay. It looks like on Y there isn't one, but on X there is. Okay. So there is an end stop switch hiding back here. I just didn't see it. Yeah, there's an end stop switch on X. I don't see anything obviously on Y because, well, why would there be? So there isn't one for... No, because Y would just be when the nozzle touches on the effector. Okay. So yeah, there's an end stop switch on X. There is not one on Y. So if I reset this now, you shouldn't see anything on X. Z is still showing triggered, but let's lift the nozzle a little higher. Now let's see what happens if Z is triggered or not. Yeah, Z is still showing as triggered. So the nozzle touching has nothing to play with Z being triggered. So I wonder if it does need to be done. Gantry racked? No, it's not racked. It is moving freely. So I wonder if we invert Z, if that will fix our issue. Let's go into the config. Let's just take a look at Z and see if it needs to be inverted. That may be the issue, considering Z doesn't have anything on it. End stop, end stop, end stop. All right. Well, it's already got it doesn't have a pull-up on it. Let's see if we need to do a pull-up. Pull-up go before or after the exclamation point? I don't remember. We can just take the invert off first. And then we'll see if when it comes back up. Now let's go ahead and scroll on down here. Oh, we need to go to tune, scroll down, refresh. Okay, Z is open now. Now let's touch the nozzle to the belt and see what happens. Let's see. Refreshing. That's not triggering, and the probe is not triggering either, and it's against it. Yep. Need to pull up and to push up. All right, let's go back to config. Let's go to printer, and then let's put the pull up in there. There's a pull up. Save and restart. And a sit up, you say. Let's just see how this looks now. Okay, well, it is. Let's just see. I lift it up. Nothing. Push it down. Nothing. Nothing. None of my probes are triggered. What the hell? There we go. X is triggered. And that's it. Even though I have it against the corner and I'm pushing down against the belt just a little bit to put some pressure on it. I can see the light trip when it hits, like right. Like there's a small amount, like the light trips. Let's get this ready. Yeah, it's not triggered still. But you can see the light turn on for the effector. It comes on just for a moment and then it goes off. I wish I could show you guys, but the light's a tiny little light that hides inside, so it's hard to see. Well, let's leave the pull-up on it and let's invert it again and see what happens. Because why not? Let's live dangerously. And it usually goes pull up and then inverted, right? So if I do that, it should be right? Or is it the other way? Where it's... I'm trying to think of what looks better or what looks right. Don't remember. Let's try that. I could be wrong and it'll either error out and yell at me or, you know, I did it right and I guessed properly. Well, it didn't yell at me. So let's just refresh the end stops real quick. Now Z is showing triggered. Okay. As it should. Now let's lift the probe off of there and see again. Nope, still shows triggered. So why is my Z end stop still showing triggered? It's a pain in the ass with belts, man. So my problem is that my Z is still showing triggered even when it's not triggered. Is there a way to bypass the Z? Because Z technically is the belt, not the freaking, you know, that's your Y. Yes, Tor, it does print. Like if I print a file and send it to it, it prints. This is just when I'm trying to do a config, it's arguing with me. Otherwise, it'll print. I can send a file to it right now and it will print. It's just something when I'm trying to do a calibrate, because I want to calibrate the bed. I want to mesh the bed, and it's this Z is giving me the issue. But it will print a print. Like I can send it, it's just I can't necessarily calibrate the belt. Like do a bed mesh. So that it will automatically adjust for any variance across the belt in that one area that it prints in. It's annoying. I'm not trying to calibrate the entire bed. I just want to calibrate the line in front of it to verify that it's going to print level on that first line, basically. So what we're trying to do is figure out this portion of it. I'm pretty sure that I'm double checking here, as you guys can see. IdeaFormer is has not approved my my post. So, dang it. Ah, well. They don't like the idea of me having this. I'm sorry, but I do. I want to fix this issue. They should, if they're watching, they should pop into chat and help me out so that this way anybody who gets one will know what they can do if they're having this problem. Unless this is something you're not supposed to worry about, in which case that's fine. But, you know, say something. Let me know. They use your typical uh, idea maker. Here, let's bring up idea maker. Their start G code is very bland. Um, got the IdeaFormer. They've got a profile for it. Sly Dog, what's going on, man? You're waiting for your IR3? Hope it is better than this one. Hey, I'm not saying there's a problem with it. I'm just saying that it needs some help, you know? So your end of start G code is just a end of start G code, and then your beginning of end G code is your end G code. So technically it should just be start and end because it's Clipper. So it should be start print and end print, not this. And when you look at the start and end print, yeah, it is what it is. And then your firmware settings are all pretty much stock, you know. Primary extruder, nothing in there for offsets and whatnot. But yeah. But Sly Dog, how you doing, man? Question for you. Where did you find this from? Just a quick search on the old YouTube and I popped up, or was I recommended for you? I'm wondering because I did post this in their Facebook group and I don't know that they're gonna allow it because technically I don't have this printer, but I have this printer, you know what I mean? Recommended from YouTube, sweet. All right, good. At least YouTube's doing something for me. If it probes before each print, you should need to run mesh. It does not probe before each print. It just starts printing. Tor, that's part of my issue. Let's go take a look at the start print, and I can fix that by just changing the start print. Let's go into let's go back into here, go into printer config, and let's go down to the start macro. They don't have it broke up into a macros folder and then the printer setting stuff. They have everything crammed into one file. So at some point I'll probably go through and clean that up. But here's your print start. Does an absolute position, sets the extruder mode, does a metric, and then just does a home. And then moves to G1, Y20. So this is it. And realistically, I should just be able to go print underscore start for the start macro. Been wanting a belt printer to get toys for tots. Yeah. How is it homing Z then? That is a good question, Poity. That is a good question. I'm not sure what the hell it's doing. Can you get a G28Z and see what happens? We can try a G28Z and see what happens. What type of probe do they have, or do you have? It's using a smart effector. They're using a smart effector like on a Delta printer is what I'm getting from it. Because it says effector in the print config. I haven't actually tore this thing apart. I don't want to tear it apart right now. I want to kind of get this thing working like it should. Is there a Z home or a home Z override? I believe so. I believe that's what they're doing at some point. So in the calibrate, you got the G28 and then bed mesh. So in the calibrate in here, I'm sure I could probably put in the Z override, but let's take a look and see if there is a home Z override. So let's just do a quick control F in the config and look for override. Nope, there is nothing about override in the config. There is one over, and it's in recovery. So I guess there is no override. Let's see if they put something in the fluid. Hold on. Let's go look in the fluid config. Let's do a quick search in here. Control F, override. Nope, no override in there either. I just wanted to see, I don't think there's anything in the actual fluid config that's going to mess with the printer settings itself. What about home or Z or safe Z? Safe Z homing, there is safe Z homing. Let me come down here. Let's see here. Extruder. But bed mesh. There we go. Here's your safe Z homing. In safe Z homing, your XY positions are 0, 5. If I change that to 1, do you think that'll help by changing? Because no, by 5 is your Y. It's moving up 5. So it does that. When I safe home, or when I home, it'll move and it'll do everything just fine. It's Z that we're having the problem with. It still says Z is tripped, even though Z is not. And I did do the pull up on the end stop as well. There's a hard spot in the location of the sensor or location when it triggers. Well, that's the thing, because when I home it, let me go to the actual desktop cam for a minute here. Hold on, bench cam. There we go. Now I'm gonna just home it. Let me get out of the config real quick. Let me close that. I'm just gonna do a straight home. I clicked on home all, so it's gonna home everything. Comes down, touches, and then it jumps up. See, now it's homed, and it does that just fine. It doesn't error out. You guys didn't see anything on the screen saying that there was any error on the clipper screen when it did that. I'll even do it from the screen to show you. Let's go into homing, home all. There it goes. Home, jumps up out of the way. So the only thing, if I remember right, I think in the homing, I told it to move 5. That was the only thing I did, was told it to jump up 5. So it was set to, I think, 3. And let me see. Let me go back into config. I think I changed that to, yeah, I changed the Y position to 3 or to 5. Let me make it 3 again. That's what it was originally. Let me save and restart. And we'll home it again here once it reconnects. And we'll see at 3 if it's still doing it. You have something like endstop pin, probe Z, virtual endstop. Let me take a look, Sly Dog. Give me just a second. We're going to try this at the 3, which was the default. Go to homing, home all. Let's see. No, it jumps up at 3 again. Okay, we'll leave it alone at 3. I'm not going to mess with that, but let's go into the printer config. Let me go back here. And then let's go to the Z and see what Z safe homing, or see what the Z endstop is set to. Nope, Z is set to end stop pin is a pull up on PB2. Did I get stupid? And yeah, PB2 is the end stop pin. So it says there's an actual pin for Z. That must be the effector then. The effector is probably it. It's using the effector as an end stop instead of a virtual end stop. Hey, Nate, what's going on, man? Yeah, so that's why I was saying I can take the pull up out because it's not doing anything. So we take that pull up out of there that I put in earlier. And then if we go back to tune, scroll down, see it still shows triggered either way. And it is up off the bed, so it shouldn't be triggered. And with the pull up and without the pull up, it still says it's triggered. So just wrapping up work, had a half day and noticed that I was live. Well, thank you, Nate. Thanks for popping in, man. Yeah, I'm streaming because, why not? I got this thing and I noticed people are starting to receive it, so I might as well stream and show it off a little bit. And right now we're just kind of playing around with an issue, more or less one that's a pain in my butt than anything. I have the wrong printer in the title, by the way. What did I put in the title? The IdeaFormer IR. Oops, I put IR2. It's IR3. Uh-oh. I better go fix that. Uh-oh. We better fix that. You guys can watch me fix it live. There we go. IR3 V2. There we go. It's fixed. Just to refresh your browsers. Sorry about that. My bad. Slydog, let me jump to this screen for a minute so I can explain to everybody that this printer that you see, I acquired. How I acquired it is not important. Just know that I have it and I want to help people with it. So please, please do not be upset. Please understand how I'm doing is to help you when you get yours. 3DP UK, what's going on, man? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Glad you're here. Happy New Year to you as well. Yes, yes, I think it would, since it accidentally showed up on Slydog with the wrong name. So, but Slydog, please understand that I have it and I'm doing what I'm doing to try and help those who end up getting one. So, I was not sent it by the company. I will say that they did not send it to me, but I was able to acquire it. So, just know that I was able to acquire one. Legally, as far as I know, it was legally. I wasn't told otherwise. So, since nobody told me that what I did was illegal, we're going to say that I've acquired it legally. I am legal to own and possess it. It was given to me. I did not take it from someone. It was given to me. So, for the sake of legality, I understand that I have acquired this legally. It is mine. It is my property. And I am going to stream with it now that I see that other people are receiving theirs according to the Facebook group. I did post that I was going live on the Facebook group, but apparently the Facebook group did not like the idea of letting people know that. So they apparently deleted my discussion or my post. I'm going to reload and just see if maybe I missed it and it did show up. No, it appears as though it has not. If I go back to discussions, it is not in there. Let's go to recent activity and look at recent activity. Yep, nope, 14 hours ago, there was one gentleman who received theirs. I think I'm going to reach out to that one person and ask them kindly if they can just download their config file and send it to me. And then I can just try flashing that config file that came on their printer to it and see if that will fix the issue. Let me just try messaging that person real quick just to see. Give me just a second here, guys. Okay, sent the question. Now we'll just patiently wait and see. Because I just want to see that printer config file versus what I have as the one they said was the last good file and see if there is something in there that I'm missing. But while we're at it, let's close this. I need to find something, like I said, I don't know. Slydog, thank you. Happy New Year's to you as well. Hopefully 2025 is even better. Yes. Hopefully 2025 turns out to be even better. I'm going into 2025 sick, so we're ending the year ill, and there's no way at midnight I'm going to feel 100% and say that I beat the sickness of 24. So I'm gonna have to bring it in with me. Dang it. Ah well. But yeah, Um, somebody, let's see here. I don't know what I'm going to say. I want to get that calibration issue worked out, but I don't know for sure if there's even a way to bypass it or what. Um, I'm trying, like I said, when I go to do a calibrate, I just want it to jump the Z up a little bit. Um, I think it sees it as Z because, it is when I change the Z on, uh, when I tell it, or no, I change Y. I wonder if there's a way in the config. Let's take a look. Uh, just passing through, Shrimp Daddy. Well, it's good to see you, Martin. Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for passing through. Don't forget tonight, guys, that Lee Marie 3D, they're going to be live with Zany Zach is going to be there. So Zany Maker Zach will be there, and I think they said they're going to have a few other people they haven't name dropped yet. But go show Lee Marie 3D some love. They're the reason for this bad boy right here. Them guys, and of course the other guy in chat here, Poity. By the way, Poity, I hope the mic is sounding good for you, man, if you're still floating around. I know my voice sounds like crap, so I do apologize. Probably should have brought some hard candies out here to suck on to help the throat, but at least if I keep talking to you guys, I won't be able to talk at my mother-in-law's later tonight when we go there, because the yearly routine is we go to my mother-in-law's for New Year's Eve, and then we leave a bunch of kids at my mother-in-law's house, and my wife and I just come home and pass out. So that is the yearly routine. Don't know if that's going to be the case this year. We'll see what happens. We have a lot of sick people in the house, so we're going to bring our germs to my mother-in-law's. Considering I think they came from my mother-in-law, I think it's only fair we bring them back, right? But yeah, so since I'm sitting here looking at this, just trying to figure out oh, I did adjust the rotation distance, guys. Mine was having some extrusion issues. So I did adjust my rotation distance. If you guys notice, it was at 4.65. I did adjust mine to 4.3752. I did go crazy and go out 4 spaces. I know you don't need to, but I did. I could have went out like 3 more spaces, I think, but that's where I stopped. So if anybody else has one and you're having some extrusion issues, that might be a good place to look. So adjust your rotation distance as needed. Use the calculators provided online. Works pretty well. So TH3D has one. And then there's another one. Another one that I use as well. There's 2 different ones out there. TH3D's works pretty well. So you can use theirs, or you can use the other one. It's a DE something. Like uplink something. Anyway, whatever works for you for extrusion calculation, use that. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really messed with. They do have the extruder min temp set to -200. I know the reason why they have it set to that, and that's because if you have a snap thermistor wire, or if your thermistor's unplugged, probably not a good idea to leave it set so low, because could be a problem. Probably a good idea to change that back to something a little more reasonable, like in this case, if I delete that and set it to like, just 0 for the min temp. So we probably should check the bed too, because that's probably a good thing to check. You don't want to necessarily leave those at that unless you know for a fact that that's where your problem is. So let's go take a look at the bed. That was the hot end, right? Yeah, that was hot end. Let's take a look at the bed temp. Yeah, so they have the min set to 10 on this one, but they had it set on the thermistor at -200. That's crazy. We'll set it to 10 as well. Now let's save and restart. Yep, look, Minimum extrusion temp on the extruder must be set to a minimum of 10.0. It is set to 10.0. How weird is that? Okay, 10.0 for the minimum. Now it's going to be really weird if I just hit save in that. Okay, restart Clipper. Extruder must be minimum of 10, and it was. So how crazy is that I change it from negative 200 to 10, and it's telling me it must be 10. Minimum extruder temp in section extruder must have minimum of 10.0. I set it to 10.0. Minimum underscore temp. It says minimum underscore extruder temp. That's weird. Well, let's put it back to negative 200. It's going to be really, yeah. It's going to be really weird if... That's really weird. That I changed that from negative 200 to 10, which is what it should have been. And it told me that it was broken. So there's still something going on in the config there too. So see, these are little quirks, little things that I'm playing around with. That's what I'm trying to point out, is these little like inconsistencies in the firmware, like little bugs. Because like if I do any updates, like if I update the fluid interface, it breaks this config file. So I don't want to have to go back through and redo it. If it does ABS, Nate, it will do ABS as long as you have a controlled environment to do it in. Yeah. Mrs. Lee Marie 3D, how you doing, Keela dear? I told everybody to go check out you guys' stream later tonight. I'll be at my mother-in-law's, so I'll bring my earbuds with so I can listen in while my family is all running around doing stuff. So I'll be listening on my phone. How's the mic sound? Pretty good? I'm doing the hat method. That way I can, pat my chest and cough without slapping the microphone. Well, at the same time promoting KB3D, because West 3D doesn't have awesome hats like this that they sent out to me for me to wear. So I can't wear a West 3D hat. I have a TH3D hat. I got to find it, and then I can wear my TH3D hat. Meant for the extruder temp? Yeah, the extruder will jump up to that, like here. Let's do 260 and hit enter. It'll heat up to that. The extruder, I think, said the max is 300. So it'll do up to 300 on the hot end. And then the build plate, I believe it was 100 and 110, 120 on the bed. Let's take a look. Scroll down. No, 90 on the bed. Okay, sorry. Bed's max temp, according to the firmware, is only 90. But the hot end, it says its max will get up to 300. Even though it says the minimum is negative 200, I meant in the Clipper config with the minimum temp being negative 200 might, oh, minus 200 equaling 200. Yeah. That'd be weird. That would be weird, but I kind of, I guess with everything else being crazy, this thing, but look how hot, like how fast that thing heated up. Like, look at that. And the time it took me to jump out and jump back, look at that. It's already 261 and kind of leveling itself off now. And then when you hit 0 until it's cooled down, that fan blows pretty quick. It's moving a lot of air. It's really loud. I don't know if you guys can hear the fan. I think when I talk, you guys can pick up the fan. But Keela, I'm going to have to get with Jeremy and figure out what filters he runs for audio, because I don't know how it sounds like realistically until after the stream. Then I'll go watch back and see how the audio sounded. Oh, Tor, if only you knew someone who was in the chat that knew someone at West 3D that might be able to figure something out. Maybe, just maybe, someone in chat who knows someone who can contact West 3D to maybe get some answers. Just saying, Tor. I don't know. I doubt anyone would use the below zero value for printer extrusion temp. Yeah, me too. I'm pretty sure, let's do something stupid, shall we? Let's see if we can actually set the extruder temp to a negative number and see if what it'll do. Because it obviously can't cool that low unless the room temperature is that low. So, shall we try to set this room? Let's see, negative 50. Let's see if we can set it to negative 50. Well, it let me put negative 50 in there. Target temp is set to negative 50. Let's just see what happens when we set the target temp to negative 50. Let's see if see what it'll do. LDO had to delay due to some findings in the beta they wanted to fix. Yeah, I did see that Jason posted something about that. Poity. I saw that Jason posted something, I believe it was on X or something, about there was some updates to in the betas. They wanted to fix some stuff, so there's going to be some delays. I did see that on X. And I didn't notice if KB3D had posted or not. I hadn't looked, to be honest with you. Speaking of, I still have a $25 KB3D gift card to use. I just don't have any extra funds right now to use that towards anything. So right now we're not buying nothing. Maybe tomorrow, if I have money in the bank, I'll buy something. If you guys want to hit up PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo in the link tree down below, feel free to do that. That'll help me out with some money, and I can buy something stupid. Let me go back here. Well, let me go look for something real quick here. Let's go to printables. Why not? We'll go to printables. Let's look up swords. Let's look up a sword. We'll slice a sword and send it at the printer. No anything super crazy. That's why kind of like a basic, a simple thing, just something simple to print that I can cut in half. Or there'll be two pieces. That would be cool if it was one that was already sliced into two pieces for me, so I didn't have to cut it in half already. I wish that the files that were on the printer were still on the printer. You don't work there yet, and Jeremy just left. You don't think they have box turtle kits yet? No, I'm pretty sure they don't, Keela. I know, like, uh, who was it that just said it? Was it Poity? Somebody just said it. Poity. Yeah. Poity just said that KB3D said that there were some delays. But yeah, none of the companies are actually emailing the people that got the pre-orders. They should, for anybody who pre-ordered it, they should send out an email that just says, hey, due to manufacturers, some findings from the manufacturer and beta product, that the items are being delayed at this time, updates when available. So I think that anybody who pre-orders should get some kind of a email when there's a delay like that. Need a way to do that in their system. I'm going to download this sword. Why not? And then we'll pull it in and cut it in half. Ah, yes. Keela, click the live button. I think you're a little delayed, dear. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the like in the app when you set it that the little receiver. I loaded it in the app and set it and told it to do noise filtering. And I told it to be. I don't remember if I told it to be high or not, but I did tell it to do noise filtering. So it's doing like basic noise filtering. And I believe on the unit, if I tap the power button, I believe I can change it to higher and lower. I have to do some more playing around with it, but as of lately, I don't think anybody's said anything too crazy about a lot of background noise, so I haven't been too worried. But if I can, make it better, I want to. Um, let's open this sword model real quick here. Hold on. Okay, close that. Let's go into here. Let's close this. Let's import a model. Let's go back to the right view. Let's see if we can figure out where the hell that sword was I just had. Uh, where the hell did I just put that? Where did I download it to? Oh, I bet you it's in my damn downloads folder. No. There it is. All right. Let's pull in the STL. Oh, that's very tiny. Oof. That's a teensy little thing. Let's rotate it first. Actually, we need to rotate it on X 90. There we go. Scroll in. Now I need to slice this thing in half. How do I chop this thing? Anybody know Idea Maker? How do I chop this thing? Exactly. You've written those emails before when stock has arrived late. Yeah. So how do I chop this thing in half? I want to chop this thing, split it right in the middle. Yes, West 3D is still growing, so they're learning, they're taking their bumps. Ah, that's fine. Yes, Miss Keela, you silly girl. But anybody know in here how the hell I actually slice this thing? Free cut? Is that what I want to use? Free cut? Cut plane. How do I tell it to cut on the center of this thing? How do I tell it where the center is? Yeah, JD, I'm not a fan either. I wish that Orca Slicer had something in there. Will, what's going on, Will? Good to see you, man. I'm trying to figure out how to tell it to put this thing in the center of this model. Any luck printing with it yet? Yeah, I have gotten it to print. I want to print a sword now. I'm gonna first try and slice this thing, and then I want to expand it. Actually, maybe I should expand it first, huh? Let's close that. Let's go to scale and tell it to auto set to build volume. There's the build volume. Now that it's set to the build volume, I want to cut this thing down the middle. Well, I guess in order to cut down the middle, we know that Z is infinite. Right click, center. Cross section, free cut. Cross section. Cross section is currently above it. I don't really play around with using slicers for editing, and I usually am just very lazy. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that looks to be about the center. So, yeah. All right, well, 18.8. That's cross section, but it doesn't allow me to actually like cut it at the cross section, does it? No. $18. All right. Let's start our cut there. Now let's we did a cut. Now how do we separate the cut? Free group settings, select all. There we go. There's our two pieces. So we take this piece, move it out front, and then move this. Well, actually, let's right click and let's go to, first let's click on this piece and let's rotate it on Y 180. It's 180. There we go. Now let's arrange these two pieces. Where the hell is the arrange? Trying to see if I can just make this one just mega long fucking print where it prints one part and then prints the other. But that is a pain to move. Arrange all models is available on the left. Oh, arrange all models. There we go. Nate, I'm an idiot. Thank you. There we go. Hey, what's up, Jermaine? How you doing? How's the hobby main? By the way, Mrs. Lee Marie 3D and Hey It's Tor, thank you guys for communicating and keeping it cool and kosher in chat. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. Uh, it's nice when people help each other instead of try to criticize one another. So thank you. Let's make sure this is flat on the bed, huh? There we go. Lay flat. Why is it not laying flat? I cut it. It should want to lay down. Oh, it's so long. It takes forever to move. Whoa. Yeah, undo that. Where are we at? We need to move this. There we go. Let's lay it down on the build plate, huh? Set it to 0. There we go. All right. Now both pieces are on the build plate. Now when it prints, it should print off one piece and then print off the other. It's gonna, take some time. Let's do arrange all models again. Well, I clicked arrange all models. There. Should we send it off to the printer? Should we slice it and send it? It's a sword, just a random sword. Slice it and send it. Sounds like a plan. Let's hit slice and see what happens. We'll see how much it says it's going to take. Post-processing. All right. It says there is a bunch of mesh errors. No, I still say we send it. Let's export this real quick. It says it's going to take 8 hours and 32 minutes to print. It says it's going to use 138 grams of filament is all. I don't buy that. Export to local. Save it. Done. Let's go back to the printer now. Let's upload. Grab the sword. Click open. Okay. Huh. There we go. Let me clear that bubble off the tip. There we go. Get that little blob off of there. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this thing goes. It's either going to print or it's not. You know what I mean? So we'll let it run and we'll see what happens. It either prints or it doesn't. And the funny part is, I'm not going to be home for 8 hours. So hopefully one part of it is done in 4 hours when I leave. And then I'll know how far off the build plate it's going to go. so that the other part can be done when I get home, and hopefully it doesn't warp. And if all said and done, I'll just have to get out my 3D gloop and gloop together the sword, and I'll have a green sword. We'll see how this does. How am I liking the printer so far? So far, it's, you know, it's got some quirks. It'll still print, but it doesn't want to do a bed calibrate. So there's that. It errors out on that. So there's that little issue. But other than that, it seems pretty interesting. We'll see how it prints. You know, we'll see how this goes. We'll see what kind of print quality we get out of it. Probably wish there was a way I could do some more tuning with it. Since it's a belt printer, there's some quirks to using some of the standard calibration stuff. But there it goes. Here, let's jump to this one. There you go. And you guys can kind of see it a little better. Well, it is making the tip of a blade. It is looking very... I don't know. It's looking like the tip of a blade. Doesn't look like there's too much infill in that tip, so I would hate to stab something with that. I would hate for it to be needed as an actual self-defense weapon. You know what I mean? But it is printing. Probably need to increase some infill. But we're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go. I'm moving around too much. I'm getting dizzy, guys. Sorry. Still 4:30 here, or 4.5 hours to go here. And what's going on, Ann? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. It is currently only 12:35 p.m. here, so it is 12:35 p.m. We still have about 12 hours to go. A little 11 hours and 25 minutes to go. Not sure why it printed the tip and it's now moving forward. It's kind of odd that it's going. Okay. Well, it printed a sword tip. Like they say, just the tip, right? Let's see what it's doing exactly here. Well, here's a tip. I don't know what I did there, guys. It's probably something in me slicing it. I probably sliced it wrong. If somebody can find me a belt sliced printer or a belt sliced sword, you know, a sword that was meant to be printed, like already split, that'd be greatly appreciated. So if you could find one and link it in chat. Oh, it's now printing the other part of the sword. Or trying to. So instead of, oh, because all the stuff in the center was probably not sliced properly or sitting properly. Ah, well, dadgummit, we got to cancel that. Cancel print. Oh, that was not fun. Lesson learned. Don't slice it like that. Hey, you know what else is cool though? Let me go back to the main menu and let me go to my macros and check this out. I got a bed eject macro that I wrote. Watch this. Look at that. It'll eject a print off the bed. Yeah, that was probably one of the errors that it detected was that part of the print wasn't touching. So, yeah, Dan is dumb. I don't know that slicer all that well. I didn't use it all that much. Back in the day, I used it a bit, but I never used it for a belt printer. So, let me just, you know, maybe delete off one part. And, I mean, realistically, I want to move this thing around a little bit so I can look at it. But the way it's sliced, there's not a whole lot. All right, let's see. Black belt slicer. Yeah, I thought about that, JD. I thought about checking out black belt as well. But this is the slicer that they actually prefer, and they have a profile created for it already. So that's why I've been using this one. So kind of throws a little bit more in Idea Maker's hand, I guess. Let's go look for another sword. Let's go see if we can find a belt printer sword. I'm just trying to find a file that's basically pre-sliced, not necessarily pre-sliced, but sliced in half, pre-sliced, so that I can print it. How about what is this one? Yeah, no, that one's one that you print and put a bar through. We don't want that. We want one we can just slice down the middle and just use. Do, 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 do. You guys all bored yet? Let me jump over here. There we go. Just using Yagi to look for swords. Try and find something kind of something simple. Hey yo, what's going on, Marcel? Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Printer's cooled down enough. The big old loud fan went off. Did you guys even hear the fan spinning? I'm curious. Boop boop a doo. I mean, worst case, I take a sword and I take a sword model, shove it in Tinkercad. Didn't hear the fan. Nice. So the filtering is working on this thing. Cool. Yeah, Wilford, this is my mini right here. The DJI Mic Mini. Yeah, that Poity and Mr. and Mrs. Lee Marie 3D purchased for me. Yeah, it's got built-in noise cancellation and stuff. So, yeah. So I just wanted to make sure because I didn't see the mic moving at all, except for when I talk, I see it move. So that's a good thing. Chopper has legs installed now. Sweet. Get the foot shells. Nice. Sounds great. Well, thank you. You can thank them too. So if you see Mrs. Lee Marie or Poity or both, you can thank them both. They're in here. Pretty sure the big guy is probably getting some work done before stream today. Again, don't forget they're going to be streaming, I believe it was 7 o'clock Central. You hear no fan. Well, the fan's off now, so that's good. If you heard a fan and I didn't, there'd be a problem. Let's see. I just want a basic freaking sword. Why is that so hard to find? Let's go to freaking printables again. Sword. A nice basic sword. Something simple to print, I would think. This looks like it might be simple to print. We just have to slice it in half. Let's download it. Save it to the old desktop. Let's open it up. Go up one and extract it all. Let's close that. And then let's do something for my own sanity. Let's go into Tinkercad. We're going to use Tinkercad and slice this thing in half. Create 3D design. And let's go to import. Choose file. Now let's figure out this one. Grab the Spada. Import it. I'm going to slice it into 2 files. And then I'm going to export them both. I'm going to grab this guy. Okay, grab sword. Let's go ahead and duplicate and repeat. Let's pull one over here to the side. Let's grab ourselves a big old box. Jesus, scroll out. There. Let's figure out how big this thing is. 22. So we want to move in. I should have put it on the outside face, but that's okay. Yeah, it should be good there. So let's just go ahead and zoom out. I'm going to cheat a little bit because I'm lazy today. I'm going to do this wrong, and I know it, and you guys can yell at me all you want. I understand that you guys like to yell at me. I'm being super stupid about this, though. There we go. Because I'm trying to make 2 cuts at once just so I can be super lazy about it. But I'm not going to be accurate as shit. I'm messing this up, and I shouldn't do what I'm doing. I should just do it once and then flip it the other way. Be done. Basically, I can mirror it, and it should be fine because realistically, it is the same pattern and same design on both sides. So you just mirror one side to the other and be good. But, you know, it's not the same. Okay. Who else is cringing right now? Is there anybody else cringing at the way I'm doing this? Oh, I totally messed that up. I shouldn't have did that. Let's just do this. Put it all back. Let's just do this the right way. Let's move this one. Move you out of the way. I don't really know how to slice well with anything. I don't know how to do a lot, guys. I really don't. I just kind of guess my way through everything. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Oh, look at that. That was definitely wrong. That thing is so damn tiny. I need to make it bigger first. So let's delete that. And we'll delete that one since we know we've messed around with it. Let's click on this here. Let's hit Shift and grab and drag. That way it pulls everything out together. There we go. Make it much larger. What is it? Control C? Or is it Shift C? Or is it Alt C? No. What's up, Just Push for It? How's JPP today? How's the internet, man? Are you blazing fast internet right now? We're working on chopping a sword in half. I was gonna try it in the slicer, but I figured I'd just Tinkercad it. Might be easier, but you know, as everything goes for me, when I try to do it, I mess it all up. So how fast is his net or his net? I don't know. I know he's got way faster than he had. I don't remember what it was before. Red light, you got to be cringing at this. I know Built Over Bot is still floating around Bob. I know he's cringing. He's like, dude, just load it up in this and be done already. All right. So let's go ahead and duplicate that thing real quick. Oh, whoops, not the box. Go back. We want to duplicate the sword real quick. Now let's pull one sword out. No, not like that. Undo. We want to move. There we go. Pull that sword out of there. Now let's just go ahead and lock them two together real quick. There we go. Now we'll move this one off to the side. Pull this one back. Grab another box. Drop it. Pull it way up. Pull it way out. Move it back. And then pull it into the model. But on the other side. Because remember, we got to do the opposite side now. we use this center line right here. I believe that was my center line that I pulled from. So let's group those two. Now let's take our two pieces and bring them together. And let's see what happens. Grab both of those, bring them close, grab them both, click our align tool, and let's align them this way. And not so much in the center, but bring them together, and now we'll pull one apart. Nope. Let's take a peek. Okay. Hmm. So it looks like I did not cut it right. Go figure, right? Because there's a weird little gappy gap there. What about on this end? Because maybe it just... Oh. Yeah. No, that end looks pretty good. What I need to do is quit being stupid. It's 18 point or 8.15 is how wide it is. So what I need to do is set my work plane. Dumbass, set your work plane. Set my work plane. Set my work plane on here. Move the model over. Spin the model around so it makes more sense. And then find your flat spot. Find a semi-flat spot. Geez. There's no easy flat spot. It might be easier just throw it in the damn slicer and try it again that way. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Canadian Maker Project, good to see you. Yeah, cut once and then mirror and slicer. Sorry, by the way, Canadian Maker Project. How you doing, Ron? It's good to see you, man. I'm sorry I've been spacing out. I got focused in this stupid shit of an idea. So let's just go here. Let's go into import. Let's just go back up to desktop. Grab the sword model. Grab the spotta. Pull it in. Too small and may be measured in inches. Do you wish to scale it to metric? Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay. There's the sword. Now, let's just go ahead and recut. All right, let's rotate the blade first. Rotate at 90, and then rotate at 90 again. Maybe 270. Let's see. No, not 180. I said 90, you jerk wagon. There. That's how we want it. We want the point going down the blade so that it starts there and works its way back. All right. Now let's hit lay flat. Makes no sense. Why is it jumping around? Quit. There. Okay. Now let's go to free cut. Okay. Wish it would go down by smaller number. Only wanted to try and print crown molding with a belt printer. That could be interesting to try too. Right now, I'm just trying to see about splits. Crown molding would be more fun because it just load the crown molding and let it print. So that might be more fun. Maybe we'll try that. But I want to try our sword because everybody who gets a damn belt printer does a sword. So 280 was not enough yet, I don't think. It's hard to tell. I can't really make out the transition line there. Like, we'll say 280. Let's try our start cut and see what happens. Range all models. Hey, at least slicing it that way, it actually did something. It actually has infill there, so let's rotate this part now. We want to rotate it on Y 180. There we go. Lay flat. God dang it. Not that model. Put that model back, you bastard. Okay. It's that model. Why is that model jumping around like it is? No, I want this model to lay flat, you son of a biscuit-eating bulldog. Why? Why when I clicked on it did that jump? It should not have. Click here. Rotate. Lay flat. That's not laying flat. There's a lot of not flat areas on this. Rotate. I messed that all up now. I gotta go back a bunch. Because I'm just gonna fuck it up when I go to slice it and I know it. Oh. Okay. Click on this one. Lay flat. Did it even move down? No, it did not. See, it's still not laying flat. Move. Click on this one. Rotate. On Y. 90. No. Another 90, so 180. And then lay flat, and it is. And then click on move. Click on this one. Drop it to 0. Now it's on the build plate. Okay. Should we just slice this as tiny as it is and let it go? Lay flat on the hilt. It's a belt printer. We want it to print out. It's a belt printer, Ron. We don't need to lay it on the hilt. We want it to print to the ether. Right click, select all, scale. Scale it up by 300%. There we go. Auto fit build volume. I hate that it takes forever to move it when it's scaled so daggum large. Zolan, what's going on, brother? How you doing? I am still sick, but I am streaming and we're playing with the belt printer because why not? Trying to see if I did this right. Let's slice this real quick and see what it says. Bob is here. He's just mostly lurking. Of course he is. But yeah, so we're playing around with making Archimedes screw. Making myself go crazy. Printable and DLP, whatever. Recheck. Yeah. Well, that's great that you took me there, but that's not what I wanted. I'm going to click here. 2 models are invalid. Non-manifold edges, 156. Isn't there a way to, like, repair the daggum model? Instead of telling me to go here, outside printable area is not my problem. Manifold edges, yeah, no. You're not helping with that information, idea maker. Mesh errors, selected model, non-manifold edges. And then you don't give me an option to like repair that or do anything with it. You just tell me that it's got non-one. Press Control F on the page and type in what you're looking for. James London, thank you. Yes, we can try, but I don't know that it's going to find manifold edges. Manifold. I can't even spell. See, no manifold edges come up. Non-manifold edges. The word manifold didn't even come up when I started typing it, so it's not even in there. So why the hell it sent me to that page makes absolutely no sense, guys. Like, look, I'm typing in manifold, 0 results found. So why the hell did it send me to that help page? So Idea Maker, fix your shit too. Look at that. We're finding errors all over the place with all kinds of stuff. It's telling me non-manifold edges. I type in the word manifold, it should come up. But no, it's fine. We're gonna slice it and cross our fingers because do the old just, you know, print and pray. Save it. Done. Close that. Let's go back to the Phantom printer. Look how beautiful it is. And then let's go back up one. And let's find the Spada. Click open. And let's just see. Oh, how long did the slicer say that was going to take? 38 hours. That sounds a little more realistic considering what happened the last time. Could be the model. It could be. Well, I just sliced it in half on a guess. So I got it right. I got it wrong. We're going to find out. Hopefully it's better than the last model. This one's at least solid underneath. So that should be nice to have two solid surfaces to glue together. Oh, printer not happy. Oh, wait. Oh, it's processing. There it goes. All right. Let's see what happens with this 38-hour long print. Shall we? You guys want to watch it do all that, or would you rather I just put it right here? We stitch our model together to ensure the errors never happen. Yeah, well, I'm a lazy ass, Bob. I'm a lazy ass. However, if you find a sword file and you want to cut it in half for me and send it to me, I'll be the lazy ass and just print the file. James, no. Shaper? No. I probably should, no. I'm new to the belt printer, so I'm learning all kinds of fun stuff with this thing. So hopefully people are watching, like people who watch this later can go, oh, I'm learning too. And they understand that I'm not a professional. I'm an idiot with a webcam. And I like 3D printers and I like learning and playing. So I had an opportunity to get this printer and I seized it. And now I'm going to learn how to use it live on webcam with everyone else so that they can make fun of me. For the professionals who know, they can just make fun of me. And for those who don't know, they can learn right alongside me. Hmm. So yeah, you're getting yours today. Sweet. So you're one of the few people who actually is getting theirs today. Nice. Well, I wish you luck with it. Hopefully you know more about it than I do. And James, if you could do me a solid, buddy, my printer config is a pre-production printer config. If when you get yours, you could log into the web interface. Let me go back here. If you could log into this web interface here, once you get it connected to your network, you get your IP address. If you could log into that and then come down here to the configurations tab and then right click on this guy. And before you do anything, either hit create a zip archive or better yet, just hit download this printer config file before you do anything crazy. If you could download that and then email that to me, my email is in the YouTube channel, but it's real easy. Just, you could send it to, I think anything at makermindnexus.com, but if you sent it to Dan at makermindnexus.com, I would greatly appreciate that because I really would like to have the production printer config since they're not, as far as I know, releasing anything for it yet. So it sucks that units are going out and there's no files available. But if you could do that, I would love to get my hands on the printer config file that you'll have on your machine. Tor. Let me go to the big screen for a moment, guys. Here's the thing. I did not get this from the manufacturer. I have reached out to them through email. I was told I need to contact my rep. There's a problem. I don't have a rep because I didn't get this from the company. I got this third party. And the access I got to the files that were available were the files that were before they were sent out. So I don't have access to production file, like the files for the rolling off the machine or rolling off. What is the model of yours? It is the IdeaFormer IR3 V2. So that's the newest, latest, and greatest one from IdeaFormer. It is the Clipper variant. I hope that's the one you were getting, and if not, you're getting the older V1 or the even older just IdeaFormer R3, IR3. Then okay. If you're not getting a V2 with the Clipper configs with the Clipper on it, don't worry about what I just said. Ignore what I just said. But it is printing a sword. We'll see how this goes. 38 hours, it says. I'm probably going to run out of filament on that spool, as you can see. So I'll have to find another roll to throw on there. My printer's, my sword's going to be a couple different colors, I'm sure. Yeah. But, so yeah, James, if you're not getting the V2, ignore what I just said. Yeah, I'm just looking for the config file. That's all I'm looking for right now, and it's not available on the web anywhere. So yes, it will, Tor. Yes, it will. That'll be the first time I actually do any crazy post processing. That's if this thing works. I'm pretty sure it's going to fail. I'm going to live by the I sliced it wrong and it's going to fail. But so far, it's printing something. So we'll see how far it goes. We'll let it just run. We'll see what it does. And I'll hang out with you guys for a little bit longer because we're just over the 2 hour mark. I usually stream for like 2 hours at a time. I haven't done it in a few, so let me do it now. Again, hi, let's do the YouTuber-y thing. Are you ready? Hi, I'm Dan. This is Maker Mind Nexus. It's a YouTube channel where I just do silly things and hang out. 3D printing related for most of it, but there are times when I just talk. Maybe there'll be some interesting electronic stuff and whatnot down the road, but for right now, it's always been pretty much 3D printing related. One of the things I do with this channel is I do what's called the 3D printing rehab project. It's something stupid. It was an idea in my head, but I love it and I'm going to keep doing it. I rebuild old 3D printers that people in the community have given to me. So far, some of the big contributors are going to be 3D Medic Vince. He's given me like 4 or 5 printers. Jim from the Edge of Tech has given me 9 printers. And then other than that, it's been my own printers and JPP, Just Push Print. He's also given me a few printers to rebuild and give away as well. But what I do is I rebuild those printers and then I give them away. Polymaker has come on board to sponsor filament for that. I give them away with some filament, as well as Micro Swiss has come on board to help with hot ends and stuff for the printers that they can support. And then again, I find people who can't afford to get into 3D printing, but want to get into 3D printing, and I give them away. I do it locally to me within about 100 miles. I don't want to drive farther than that, you know, but if somebody wanted to meet me at about the 100-mile mark, more than happy to do that. But usually just load them up in my car, go around to my community, find people that, you know, are excited about 3D printing, can't afford to get into it, and give them a 3D printer, a couple rolls of filament, keeps an old 3D printer out of the landfill, gets it out of people's houses, and gets it into somebody else's home where they can learn to use and 3D print. Hopefully make some money off of it and buy a bigger, better 3D printer. You know, so use one machine to upgrade to another and then hopefully gift the old machine on to somebody new and get somebody else interested. So that's kind of the hope. And I say that you know, the project starts with me, but it doesn't end with me. You guys can do this too in your area. I've decided that everybody should be doing this, not just me. I don't want to be the guy doing it all the time, but I will stream working on those printers and then giving them away to people. So again, if you enjoy what you see, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, lets me know. If you don't like what you see, hit dislike. I don't care. It's all algorithm. It makes YouTube know that I'm relevant one way or the other, either in a good way or in a bad way. But interaction is interaction. I'll take it. Do you have an email in your, or I can send the code to for the printer. Yeah. I don't know what type you need. It's going to be this file right here. Hold on a second. Let me go back to this screen. This is the file I'm looking for right here, the printer.config file. Yeah, if you have your printer loaded, or if you have when you get your printer and get it loaded, if you have the V2, then what you'll be looking for is this printer.cfg file, which is again located under the config when you connect it to your network. So you connect it to your network, power it up, and then you'll click on the configuration tab, and then you'll look for printer.cfg. But here, that's the email. I don't know why I put a space in there. Take the space out. It's just dan@makermynexus.com. I don't know why the hell I put a space in there, but yeah, just send it there, and I'll take a look, because I have like a default image that they put out, but I can't seem to find on their website anything about it unless they've updated recently. IdeaFormer. Just go straight to the website. And then we'll go to tech, download, firmware download. There is nothing for the V2 yet. They've got the V1. They got the IR3-M, IR3-MF, IR3-TM. So, yeah. Let's go back to the main page here real quick. Let's take a look here. Okay, so you basically just copied all the info out of it, and they actually switched it to mainsail, it looks like. I didn't want to dox you, so I took the main screen out so I could look at it. But there is... They have a pull-up on there. Adjust bed on belt pulley setup. Maximum travel distance on Y. Because what I want to do is I'm gonna copy this info out of here. Why are you not copying just the part I want to copy? Thank you. Let's copy all of this, because it is missing some stuff from the other stuff. Because this actually has in the print start bed mesh calibrate optional if using the mesh level. Use the alt account, possible to dox. Hey, it's all good, man. It is all good. I try not to dox people. Sadly, sometimes when you do giveaways, you copy the wrong field and their name gets put in there, but you have your name or a name there that would probably be the one. So, but yeah, I'm looking at this, and this config is way stripped down compared to what I've got. Uh-oh, what do we got going on here? Let me take a look at something. I keep forgetting. I'm so used to my old mic with the belt, or with the wire. We are getting a little bit of ugliness on the one side. I would like to be able to probe this belt to get a better, get a little bit better, but we are getting some ugly wispiness on this side here. But it's doing its thing, so. But yeah, because this is saying it's got all kinds of craziness in there that just doesn't mesh up with the other one, like the USB, like the dev ID device. Let me just copy that and paste it into a text doc real quick. Give me a second here. There we go. Now we can at least play side by side. Let's close that. Click here. Go back to this. Go back into our printer config, slide this over a little bit more, bump up the view, the font size, edit, view. Okay. Let's bump this back a little bit. All right. So let's take a look at a couple of things kind of side by side then. Let me bring up the other screen again. Here we go. We're going to kind of side by side a few things. Under X, see, we're getting mismatched step pins. Like the pins are different, so that's different. That's why I'm wondering if this IdeaFormer Clipper V2 config, I don't know how legit this is because none of the stuff is matching up with the hardware, pins wise. And then again, rotational distance is set to 40, which it is, but then they've got micro stepping set at 16, which is 32 on this one. And this is using the different board, so it sees it differently. So yeah, I don't know how much of that is going to be of help to me, being they're different. So unless they change something, and this is only, I think what this is somebody took a standard, like the IR3 V1 and clipperized it, and this is their config file, but they just named it V2 for whatever reason, because there's a lot missing out of here that I need. So it's got the extruder, the bed heater. When you come down, there's a connect to that. And see, it sees it as a Cartesian, when in this config, it sees it as an XY, core XY. And then this is the old display. This isn't the clipper screen display, so that's not it. And then for probe, it's actually using an actual probe, whereas this uses a smart effector. So yeah. Yeah, ChatGPT is great and all, but you know, when it comes to this, it's a kind of a customized little thing. So yeah, it's using a lot of like customized stuff. And I know that ChatGPT is smart, but I don't know that it's smart enough to figure that part out by itself. It's okay. I'm just going to wait patiently and see if someone from the group, when they get their printer, can just snag the config file off of there and send it out, since they're not doing it. I just want the stock config for what's being pushed out to try and do a compare and contrast and see what they sent with the demo models versus what's on there now, like what changes were made, so that I can basically get a match for match in the config. If there's any other updates of some sort that need to be done, I'd love to be able to get it all up to date and do that. But we got to wait and see, you know. Ooh. But yeah, so we'll let this sword print and we'll see how it does. It's got some issues with it. It's print quality, but we'll play around with that later. I don't think that IdeaFormer is too happy that I have this printer and I'm playing around with it, but it's okay. I'm not doing it to cause them any harm. I'm doing it just to show people what's out there, you know? And I hope that, you know, maybe they could, you know, the people who do view this will find value in it, and, you know, constructive criticism, nothing else, you know? World's greatest plagiarist. Yes. But I'm hoping that people see that I'm not doing this to criticize the product. I'm not. I want it to be a good product. I just want to make it a better product. And I want, like, community help is always a good thing to help things grow and make them better. So, you know. I just hope that people realize that that's not my intention, is to down talk this product. I want to see this be a great product, and Clipper is a finicky thing, and I don't know everything about Clipper. And I want people who are learning to have a safe place to come learn. You know what I mean? Is it for Clipper firmware? Yes, it is Clipper. And it's actually Klipper, Clipper with a K. But yeah, I want people to find this channel to be like a safe place to come and learn. Like, I'm an idiot, and I'll show off the fact that I'm an idiot so they don't have to. Hopefully the answers they're looking for they find, and they don't have to feel silly asking. They can, you know, watch through this and learn. Yeah. And yes, they just released it too. So this printer is just getting shipped out to people. So people are just receiving it. If you look on the their group, like if you look in their group, here, let me copy this. If anybody wants to join their Facebook group, I'm giving them free promo for their Facebook group. There's the link. You can join that group, and you'll see that people are starting. A guy posted 14 hours ago that he finally got his printer. It's the V2 in the box, all wrapped up nice and pretty. Looks like he got 2 of them, but they're sitting there. I just would like the basic, the basic config. So I'm basically just trying to hit up people that have it and ask them if they can send me their printer.cfg file. Give me just a second, guys. Give me just a second here. You guys will probably still hear me. My doggo's out here barking. I'll see what he's up to. What's the matter, doggo? Where you at? Come here. Come here. What's the matter? Come on. Come on. Go in the office. Yes, let's go in the office. Come on. Come say hi to the internet. Lay down. Yeah, shake off. Good boy. Lay down. Here, let Daddy clear off your bed. Let me clear off your bed. I got stuff on your bed. Let me move it. There we go. Let's move the pallet, shall we? Here. I'm running out of room, guys. We're going to put the pallet on top of the ghost. Not that it's going to be hooked up to it or nothing, but there. Okay, lay down, wet doggy. You lay down. Good boy. Good boy. All right. It's for what I said. Let me take a peek. Give me just a second here. I don't have the thing up, so we're good. Click here. Stock firmware. Kinematic. It still says Cartesian. It's not going to be, and it's very, this one has very little in it. So it's another one, but again, let me bring up the screen and I'll show you what it currently looks like in the firmware. Let me find the daggone printer. There we go. Okay, so here is what the current firmware that came from them looks like. It's a very large file with a lot of stuff. For instance, Kinematic says it's a Core XY because it is. It's a 45 degree. It's a Core XY turned 45. And then you've got a lot of stuff in here information wise. So it is a very, you can see over here on the side, it is a very, very large file. That's why I was hoping to get just the config file, the .cfg. So that's why I was saying, like, if you are getting a V2 today, it's easier just to right click and download, and then it's saved as the config file, and then just send it over, and then I can load it and compare side by side. So that's why I was just requesting, and that's why, James, you don't have to go like super crazy. I mean, if you can't get it that way, don't keep looking, man. It's fine. They haven't put anything out there yet. Like I said, when you look on their website, there's no file for it currently. So, and since again, like I said, the model that I have is currently a demo model that was sent out to reviewers to check out. I know that there was some changes made from demo to production, so I can't, you're not giving up. Well, more power to you. I hope you can, you do find something. But I just know that in my experience so far in my hunting and pecking, I have not been able to find the stock IdeaFormer IR3 V2. IdeaFormer IR3 V2. Oops, V2. Firmware. There's a lot of pre-sale stuff on it, Kickstarter stuff on it. I know that like a couple of different YouTube channels have put out videos on this thing. Interestingly enough, I'm gonna mute this guy's audio because I don't want to get dinged with a copyright strike from somebody. But like I know this guy did a pretty good video on the IdeaFormer. This guy right here. I'll just leave it as I think this guy did a pretty good video. Weird, my belt has that same pattern in it. It's really weird. It's just really weird. I don't want to get dinged with a copyright. I don't want him to copyright me. I don't make any money anyway, so. but my belt has that same pattern in it. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but there was this weird pattern in there. Mine has that same pattern in the belt. I don't understand why. Must be something from the factory that they did that. I don't know. I didn't get mine from the factory. I don't know. But no. So it's pretty awesome printer. I just need to find the stinking firmware for it. And I agree with them. IdeaFormer did comment in his video saying that more people need to get experience with belt printers and with the slicer. And I agree. I want to help. I want to help get people experience with belt printers and with the slicer. I need to learn. And what better way to learn than by failing live on a chat so that you guys can all watch me fail and learn from my mistakes so you don't make them. I agree with that guy 100%. And that's the guy who runs that company, says more people need that. I agree with him, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I hope you agree with me and him at this company here. Oh, I whipped my head too fast. Holy shit. Low Sync, what's up, man? Yeah, built over bot. He'll take me for all that I make. He might be trying to recruit me in a couple of months when he's moving. He might try to recruit me to help him move. I told him a good way to get people involved is to free pizza. People like pizza and beer. I hear beer is a good one. I don't drink beer. I don't drink, but I like Mountain Dew. So pizza and Mountain Dew, I might take the 3-hour drive up just to help him out. Just throwing that out there. They need more designers to get them. Yes. Yes. People need to design more stuff to be belt printed. Like when they're making models for a sword, they need to just make it one-sided, but make it so that you can just print 2 of it and then glue it together or mirror it. And, you know, so you're only making half of something as long that can be then printed twice and then glued together. Oh God, guys, I did whip my head too fast. Ugh. Just bear with me. But what I'm trying to fix is the damn bed leveling. I want to be able to level the bed because it's not this far side over here. This side is not as close as that side is. So this side's printing fine. This side has got a little bit of a curled edge. So it's going to look a little shoddy. And then when I print when the other part prints and it kind of gets glued together, you're going to have a rough edge on one and on the other. It's going to be opposite of each other on the print. So I need to be able to calibrate the bed. But I do want to see this thing print out. I do not have the rollers. This one did not come with rollers. So I don't have the additional rollers to catch the print as it comes out. So I want to see how far this thing's going to get before I leave tonight. And we'll see how catastrophic the failure is. I'll be sure to post it on X so you guys can see the catastrophic failure. I'm scanning the video on this printer, so bear with me, guys. Oh, I wish I had the chain file. I would love to have printed some chain. Or a sword. A sword would have been nice. You're back. Did I get the Z endstop figured out? No, I did not, Sly Dog. I wish I did. However, didn't you say you're getting one of these, Sly Dog? You're just still waiting for the shipping info on it? Okay. Do me a favor then. If I don't get any luck getting the stock, like the whatever they're shipping out for the printer config file to you guys with the stock, like with the production units, if you could grab your printer config file once you get it up and running, basically just get it set up, connect it to your network, and then go in and grab the printer config file for me and send it to me. Give me a second. Give me a second to show you what I'm referring to. Are you familiar with Clipper, Sly Dog? Are you familiar with Clipper? It might take a while. Yeah, and it might take me a while to get somebody to send this. So what's going on, AA Ron? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. You have over 10 printers. Okay, so you're familiar with Clipper. If you could send me the printer config file when you get yours, just send me your printer config because I want to compare the printer config on what you get versus what I've got and see what is causing the issue. I don't know if you caught my email address earlier or not, but it's real easy. Dan at makermindnexus.com. There it is. So if you could just shoot that, like when you get your printer config file, like, cause I want it off the machine so that I've got what the machine is running. So like get yours out, fire it up, run through the calibrations, make sure it calibrates the bed, you have no issue, and then send me that printer config just so I can compare the printer config that came on the demo units versus the printer config that you have on yours and see what's causing the issue when I'm trying to do a calibrate. Because I didn't see anything, and I'll have to go back through and watch like Jim and Aurora Tech's videos and see if there's something I'm missing that they talked about in theirs about how they did their calibrate. Like, do I have to tell it to ignore Z to do the calibrate type thing? I don't know, you know. Take care all, be safe tonight. Yes, red light, do the same, brother. Stay if you're going out remember to drink responsibly, people. Let me throw that out there. If you're going out tonight, you're going to have fun. Drink responsibly. Also, remember to stay on your A game while driving, because you are not responsible for everyone around you. You're only responsible for yourself. But on nights like tonight, you're going to have to watch out for every other asshole on the road. So please, please, I want to see you all come to another stream again, hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's my daughter's birthday too. So New Year's and my youngest daughter's birthday. So gonna have a lot going on, but I'm gonna try and make time to stream again tomorrow in the new year. Started out the right way with a stream, so I'm hoping to get one out tomorrow. What will we be doing? I don't know. Maybe we're gonna start the stream out or the year out by fixing a printer or two and getting them ready to be given away. So maybe that'll be the plan. This has got 38 hours of printing. I'm assuming it's gonna fail. If it doesn't, this will be printing tomorrow. So you guys will be able to watch this print while I try to figure out where the hell I'm going to work on a printer in my tiny little space. But yes, please everyone, be safe. We need that Pandora printing. Oh, Losink, you are obsessed with my Pandora's box, aren't you? For those who want to know what he's talking about, give me a second. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll make it a, let's get this thing printing. Here is a Pandora's box that I acquired from another person. And Losink has been very interested in seeing this thing print. I did put the LGX light on there. So we got this guy on there. I just got to get everything wired up. He did have it set for CAN bus, but I think I don't want to mess with CAN bus. I want to get it printing. So I'm thinking I'm going to just run everything back. Do an umbilical. He's got it set up though for CAN already. It's just getting the CAN board installed and then cutting everything and crimping and, you know, doing all this. So maybe we find the CAN bus board and get it wired up and ready. But I do really want to get this thing going, because I really do want to get this little thing of printing. I think it'll be a pretty sweet little printer. And he's got all the stuff, the panels and stuff ready. And I know that Happy already printed me out panels for this. So floating around in this mess somewhere is the panels that Happy sent me with the Maker My Nexus logo on the door. So, yes. Need to build another printer. Have no idea what to build. Tor. Build a Pandora's box. They're awesome. And this already has like the Konami, the little Konami screen in the front. So I do kind of really want this thing printing, so I really need to just quit being lazy and do it, you know, just make it happen. Because I think it would be quite a sweet little printer. I think it'd be pretty cool to have at work on my desk at work, or even in the background here. You know, you guys, you know, it's like the unique printers, the different things, you know. You want a bigger printer though. You have two V0s already. Well, then build a 2.4 or a Trident. Or yes, do a Doom version 2. Do a Doom Cube. The V2 Doom Cube. Could be fun. Tor, could be fun. But let's put Pandora's box back. I really need to get that daggone printer printing. Oh man, now looking at it, way to go. You just got me all hopped up and hyped up and ready to go. So maybe I actually what I need to finish is I need to get my LDO, my little LDO Rook 2020 going in my space gray frame, because space gray everything, you know. So maybe we need to just build that first, you know. Look at that. Free floating, moving smooth. Just need to build it. Oh man, guys, I tell you. You know, projects in no time. I shouldn't say no time, just need to do that. Just build a custom one, Tor. You're looking at the Cbor or Cybor, whatever they want to call it. Trident 350 would be nice, yeah. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I need to stop procrastinating. You know, I really do. I need to stop procrastinating, and I just need to build these stinking printers that I have, get them going, and work on other stuff on the side. You know, like, would you guys want to watch me finish building this little Rook? Like, get this 2020 on? Because honestly, I want to get the Rook 2020 done before I do anything, because Jason did send out all of this stuff for me. So I'd really like to get this done and show it off. You know, and it's this printer is, as I jokingly said, is out of this world, because it's a space gray frame with their the galactic blue, or no, galactic green, right? These are Ambrosia ASA. It is right here. The blue is the planetary blue, and the galactic green. So that printer is out of this world, you know. Rook is a fun, quick build. Yeah, I think what we'll do is, I think if tomorrow starts out, if I have time tomorrow, we'll work on the Rook 2020 build. We'll get this thing up and doing something, hopefully. I got to dig out all the pieces and parts again. But we'll get the little 2020 up and printing, or get it assembled, hopefully, finish assembled, and then kind of go from there, because I've got all of the bits and bobs and pieces and stuff down here. Get it all put together, get it printing, and then, yeah, it's just a matter of, you know, making it go, do its thing, making it go, Bert. Yeah. Well, Mrs. Lee Marie 3D. Thank you, Miss Keela. But yeah, Miss Keela helped me pick out the other color, because I was like, yeah, I want to do something. And then she was like, well, I believe you were the one who told me to do the planetary blue, because I had the galactic green already. And you were like, do it in the blue. And I think that was you. Or maybe I already did it in the planetary blue and you said the green. That's what it was. I already had the blue. You said do the green. That's right. Because I'd already had all the blue parts printed. That's what it was. I already had the blue parts printed. I wanted to pick an accent color. And you said do the green. So I did a bunch of the parts, or redid a bunch of the parts in the green. I still have, like, you know, again, the linear rail kit. So we have our little LDO linear rails for everything. And I do end up with, because I'm doing the 2020, I have 2 of the rods left over, because as the 2020, you know, let's see. Yeah. But doing it as a 2020 instead means you end up with extra parts when you use the Rook kit. Got to go make calls. Have a good day. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, so like these little rails drop in there nice and pretty. Like, I just got to make sure I get some, I got M3 T-nuts floating around. So there may be some stuff I need to order still, which I can order. Not a big deal. But I'm trying to remember if I have M3 T-nuts in abundance. If I don't, I got to order them. Let's see here. M3, those are just regular washers, inserts, hammer nuts, T-nuts, whatever you want to call them. Looks like I have a few. I do like the M3 roll-ins though, so I might have to get some M3 roll-ins, because I don't remember. I don't think in the kit it came with them, because in the kit for the Rook, there's actually just thread ends where you're like, there's holes where you either put, I believe, heated inserts into the 3D printed part for the rails, or you thread straight into it. So I need to order some M3 roll-in nuts. I like the ones with the little, you roll them in with the little bearing to hold them. I like those better. Makes it easier for doing the alignments and stuff. Print some rail alignment jigs. Yeah. South Mississippi. Hope everyone stays safe tonight. Jeff, I agree. You posted pictures of yours in the Discord with the Kirigami bed. Yeah, I did. I do believe I did see that. Good sir. Let me go look in Discord. I mean, I know you posted some stuff a little while back, but let me go. Don't switch. Which Discord did you put him in, good sir? You put him in my Discord, but did you put him in where? Show and tell? No. In my general? There we go. Yep, there it is. I found it. It's in the general. In the MakerMind Nexus one. Dude, that looks pretty sweet. Is your Kirigami bed thing, is that upside down? Or is that the way it's supposed to be? Looks like it's upside down, sir. I don't know. Let me show everybody. Here it is. He's got modified parts that he made where he rounded off the edges and stuff to make it look a little nicer. Oh, and then who's that? Look at that. It's a pretty sweet little setup too. Who posted that one? Oh, Los Inc. It wasn't showing your name. It just says the L there. I was like, who's that? Yeah, there's yours. You got the belt tensioners. You got the end caps, and yours also has the lower, the dropped front. So yeah. Wow. It's getting growlier the farther out it's going, but streamer mod blocks name. Smooth out the parts. There you go, Aaron. That's what you gotta do. Go to the website. There we go. And then you've got his his Rook 2020 Mark II gantry remix. So it's got all the remixed parts that have all the little smooth, or yeah, like smooth or rounded edges with the maybe I should be a wise guy and re-drill all the holes and do the maybe I should drill and tap the holes and then yeah, do the Mark II with the belts around the back instead. It's going to require all the parts be reprinted. If only I knew somebody that could get me some more of the wait, how much planetary blue do I got left? Not enough. Dang it. Well, guess might have to reprint some parts and do the V2 or the Mark II. Dang it. Why do you guys always got to entice me with that stuff? You use 250s for the Z extrusion? Yeah, to give yourself more Z height. Yeah, I would, but I don't have space gray. I don't have longer space gray. I got just what came in the original kit, so I would lose by doing that. I need more blue. Yes, Miss Keela. I'll need more blue. I'll need more planetary blue. Planetary blue, Aaron, is the Ambrosia from West 3D. And you can get it at KB 3D as well. You also use 60 for your mod? Nice. But yeah, so the planetary blue, let me see, I don't know how well the camera's going to show it, but here's planetary blue. It's got an awesome little sparkle in it. You can see the glitteriness in there. It's a paler blue with a glitter inside, or a little flake. But yeah, so that was the color scheme, was to make it out of this world. When we started doing it, we were talking about it's a space gray frame. I had the galactic green, and then Keela mentioned, or I did the planetary blue, and Keela was like, oh, you should do the galactic green with it. So we did the galactic green. And I figured, since I was being a wise guy, the galactic green is ASA as well, and it has the glitter in it. So the printer is out of this world, because, all space theme stuff. So, yeah, I'll have to reprint some parts to do that top notch. I could do the top notch and just drop this down load it on the K1 and get printing. Well, I already have the galactic green on there. So all I got to do is just download the parts and start printing, and then find my little adapter so that I can drill and tap all these and then take the little end pieces out and then just drill and tap it. And I think I lose about 10 millimeters on my Z, if I remember correctly, from what Canrog said when he was working on everything. I'll lose about, I think, 8 to 10 mils total, because you lose that little bit from each one of the brackets. But yeah, we can just break down what's already here, drill and tap, and then take out the front rail, and then just reprint the parts and then put the ends on, and then redo the motor mounts. And really that's all I really have to change, is just on the top, because I have to be able to take this out. So you look at the CAD, but yeah, I can probably still use the two, but because of the way the top parts are, I mean, if I can get away with not drilling, great. I'd rather not, but I know that Canrog put out a jig to drill these all out for that. So I know Canrog's got the jig. I have it somewhere. I printed it. I just need to find it, and then I can drill out. I've got a drill and drill bits. Not a big deal. It's not a drill press, which would be ideal, but I have a drill and drill bits, so I can set it on the bench and boom, punch through. If I drill into my high quality desktop here, I'll be super not heartbroken. But yeah, because the only issue I'll have is in these corners, it won't sit flush at the top. So I'll have to, like I said, where these corners are on top, if I don't, I'll have to get the 90s or the 45s for the corners to hold these pieces, because even putting that bracket over, it's not going to line up flush with the top on this and this, and I don't know that those will hold the way I need them to. And looking at the Mark II, he's kind of got it, because it doesn't sit flush. You're going to have that gap. That's the only thing I can think, is it'll have to drop down. So at least on the top, I would have to drill and tap. But realistically, if I'm going to go that far, I might as well just tear it down, drill and tap everything, and then just put it together right and just do it the right way. And then I can just take the parts I printed that I can use and just reuse those, and the parts that I want to replace, I can just replace. Because ideally, if I'm going to do it, I might as well go crazy and just do the V2 or the Mark II anyway, huh? I redid the feet. They're all the LDO feet with the rook markings on top. So, you know, it is the LDO kit after all. But yeah, so maybe, just maybe, I start the year off by building that as a Mark II instead. I do like the look of the Mark II, and it is going to be interesting because I will have to get a few extra things so that I can actually run the belt path the right way and run it down around the back like it needs to. Because it's an interesting Core XY design, the way they run the extra idlers around the back to compensate for the fact that you're not coming across the front, and then you have the full open front. So I think I'm going to do that. Oof. Got myself a little lightheaded, guys. The double shear mod. to list of things to print. Yeah, because I do know that he's got that double shear mod where it's got the top and bottom so that it doesn't have as much. If you want to, Ron, but like I said, it's not a big deal. I mean, it'd be cool if you could just take the stock frame and not have to tear it all the way down for that, because having to take these two pieces off, like when I take these out, you're going to see that there's like you're going to have this much gap where the two frame parts aren't going to match up. You're going to have this little bit of a gap here on top. So realistically, in the top of on the top of those parts, if you were to actually, it'd be fairly easy to do. You just have to inset whatever this distance is. Just add that much more inside of here to compensate for that. And then the two parts, these two pieces would come together and it would sit up against that and it wouldn't tip this down. You know what I mean? So without having to go doing any drilling and tapping inside the top cap on the edge here, you would just have to add in just that little bit more space in a 2020 into the top so that this would bump up against it and then this would rest up against that inside there. And then it would just be as simple as take that out and then the 4 screws that would hold it would hold those two pieces together, or should hold them together inside of there. You could even go so crazy if you wanted to as to, in the front of it, I don't know if that would get in the way, but even in the front, you could actually make a hole and then you would just have to drill and tap the front of these so that you could put a screw in here in the front to pull this into the plastic. You wouldn't have one on the top, but but yeah, you could just, you would just have to like drill and tap out this top rail. And then this would be held in, you would hold a screw through there to hold it into this top rail. And then for the bottom rail, you would just have the screws with the T-nuts, because this piece would be disappearing. You wouldn't have to worry about this at all. So that's all it would be is just adding in that difference, which, let me find my ruler. I don't have my calipers, but it looks to be roughly 5 millimeters. So yeah, Ron, it's roughly a 5 millimeter. You'd have to add a 5 millimeter 20 by 20 pad inside of there. Basically just fill the gap inside with an extra 5 mils deep. And that should take care of the gap that you need from this rail to here for them to meet up. So basically add 5 mils inside each one of those, and there you go. And then if you want to get crazy, like I said, you could put a hole through the front, and then it's just drill and tap this rail on each side. And then you can just put a screw right through the front to grab it and pull that piece in with this and keep these two lined up. And then it would just be, slide this in there, 2 T-nuts, and that would help. Gravity's going to help keep this down anyway, but the 2 T-nuts there. And really, instead of having, you can still leave the T-nut over here. You'd have these two here, and this one here would be gone because you'd have the screw in the front, and then you'd still have the 2 on the inside that would grab and hold on the other side. So there you go. If you want to add that screw, you probably don't need to, because the 2 on the outside here and the 2 on the inside there should be enough. But there you go. Add 5 mils, 2 screws on the outside, 2 screws on the inside, done. Or 2 screws on the outside, 2 screws on the inside, and 1 screw through the front to grab that rail or that extrusion. Whatever, man. Just let me know what you decide. I've got M5 taps. I've got a drill bit that I can, kind of open it up a little more if need be. But yeah, and then there's that. And then I just have to reprint the motor mounts for the Mark II. And then a couple more bits and bobs to compensate for the rerouting of the belt. And if you look for the double shear, you want to rework those as well, feel free. How easy it'd be to zip off one of the arms. Zip off one of the arms and the brackets. It wouldn't be that bad. There's Zach. I'm back. Was packing. Ah, yes. Because Zany Zach is leaving tonight. It shouldn't be too bad. I should actually be able to just grab it with a pair of pliers and snap it right off. And then you wouldn't even have to worry about it. And it's actually going to be, well, here, since Aaron's bringing it up, let me tear into this while that thing's still printing back there. Let me find the right Allen, because, you know, when you get stupid and lose parts of your iFixit kit, and you got a giant thing of Allens here that are not organized. Then you drop one, and you're freaking dealing with vertigo, so you don't want to, like, snap your head down. Okay. Heading up there now. All right. Well, Zany, you have fun, good sir. By heading up there, you mean down there? Because aren't they south of you? Just saying. Thought they were south of you. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know everything. My sword is printing. It looks like crap. I don't really care, though, so it is what it is. There we go. Okay, so see, Aaron, it wouldn't be that hard. It's just the one right here. So, I mean, to just break that off of there wouldn't really take anything. I could probably disassemble a little bit and snap one off right now. I mean, I can force my hand right now, guys. I can make it so I have to do it one way or the other. Which, Aaron, if I snap that off of there, I shouldn't have to change nothing then, right? Right. So let's just see if I have to make myself do it. Let's see what happens. Hold on. Let's see if I'm dumb and I make myself do something today. If you do that, you could use the Mark II without, yep, exactly. So let's be stupid. Let's do something dumb today. Because, you know, I don't do enough dumb stuff in my regular life. Let's do something dumb today. Let's do something dumb today. There's that. Now we just got to find the small Allen that will fit in that hole there. And undo this one. And let's see, can we get it to kind of come apart? Not easily. I don't want to necessarily break anything. So, let's take this loose. Take this loose. There we go. And let's take this one loose. We're going to take all four of them loose. I did actually use blue Loctite thread locker. There we go. Let's see which way comes loose first. There we go. It's coming apart, guys. We're going to go slow here. There we go. Take that out altogether. Now, let's put this one back in. Well, that didn't go as planned, but it's not to say we can't make it go back. There we go. There. Now it's just a matter of getting those off of there and then tightening this all back together and hoping that we didn't warp something too badly. It doesn't look like it. But now it's just a matter of, can we get that off of there? You like the brute force method? Brute force method. Okay. Let's see. Will it snappy? No? Okay. Well, I think I have a way to make that come off of there. I mean, I do. I have a Dremel. We can just Dremel it right off. Let me grab my little wrench here. I went down kind of quick. Where did I drop it? There it is. I'm not trying to stare at the ground when I do like tip my head down. I'm going to lock these back in real quick. Hold on. Okay. Then let's lock this one down real quick. Okay. There. Now, like I say, worst case, I get my Dremel out and we just right off there. But I'm going to try this one more time now that the frame is a little more back together. Nope, Dremel. Dremel. Or saw. Do I have a small saw somewhere? Saw would be a little nicer for me, I think, but the Dremel would go quicker. Let me see if I can find my Dremel, guys. Give me a second. By the way, now that I'm out here, can you guys still hear me? I'm talking to you through the wall, so you guys have to let me know if you can hear me, because I don't know what you guys are hearing and what you're not. So let me know. Do you guys hear me? I'm coming back in. Here I come. All right. Did you guys still hear me while I was out there? I don't know if you guys could. I have no clue what's heard and what's not. We heard you? Good. So this mic is much better. You guys can actually hear me. Let's see if I got cutting wheels for my Dremel. I ain't got squat for my Dremel anymore. What the heck? Oh, I got some cutting discs. Discuses. Where's my tool? Let's see. I don't know how good these cutting discs are. They're very thin. That's sandpaper. That's not a disc. Here's a cutting disc. The problem with having children, people, you let your children use your shit, and then your shit doesn't come back the way it's supposed to. Like, here's the spot for my cutting disc. Those are polishing wheels. That ain't gonna do no good. The screw is missing. The wrench is missing. Wonderful. Wonderful children. Thank you. Well, let's see if I got a saw that'll work. Damn kids. Huh. Dare I even try? Nope, that broke the tooth off of it. Yeah, just breaking the tip off of them. That didn't work. Great, now I gotta find a saw blade. Or a saw. I used to have like a little hand like saw. Huh. I'm moving around too much. I think I need to move the lower bolt holes on the Mark II model a bit to clear the legs for those brackets. Well, I mean, the only thing we're doing is here. So yeah, you may have to lower the holes. Well, actually, no, because it should line up here just fine. And then these holes here should be okay because they're in this one. So it shouldn't need to change any of the bolt holes, Aaron, if you know what I mean. Like none of the bolt holes should have to change when we do that. I just got to find a damn saw to cut that off. So bear with me. It shouldn't be too hard. I can just find my damn saw, right, guys? I just got to find the damn saw. I had a small little hand saw. I don't know. Again, kids, gotta love them. They come, use dad's tools, don't put them back. They do put them back. They don't put them back in the right spot. Dad doesn't know where the hell he's looking for stuff. I'm just looking for anything right now that I can use a little extra force and snap that son of a bitch off if I have to. You know what I mean? Oh, I know you know what I mean. When in doubt, get bigger pliers, right? Just bigger pliers. Sometimes that's all you need. Dan, are you hopping on JPP stream tonight? JPP is streaming tonight as well. What time is JPP streaming? I'm bringing my headphones and my cell phone. I'll be at my family's, but that is not to say I won't be there. I'm pulling out these set screws for sure. But yeah, I mean, I will be there some way, somehow. I will be there. There we go. Hey, Aaron, I got no choice. I got to do it now. There we go. Took them clean off. There we go, Aaron. It's definitely going to be a Mark II now. He's doing a stream hangout, or hangout stream. He's doing a hangout stream at 10 Central. Woof. I will be there. I don't know if I'll be in the stream, but I will be there supporting. But there we go. It is not going to be a Mark II whether I want it to or not. See? Snapped off. I can't put this back if I wanted to. I mean, I could, you know, do the V1 here and move it down some, but we're going to go Mark II. Okay. So there it is. Throw these guys away so we can't try to be silly. Done. It's going to happen now. Just need to print the Mark II parts, which Aaron, I do believe I can probably just print the ones you have, and it should work because they should be able just to come up a little higher in here to compensate for what they're going to lose out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think this will be an issue. So we should be all right. Now the only thing I got to do is take this rollout nut, or these roll-in nuts out. Or at least attempt to get them out of there. There you go. I need a bigger Allen. That's what I need. I guess if I need to, I can just take these off again and slide these out of here. But I will need at least 2 on the sides, nothing in the front. And then I need to put 1 on the inside on both. So I'll just swap this one over here and that one over there, and then take these 2 out of here. And that leaves me with this really sweet piece of space gray 2020 extrusion. Let's see. Can probably flip that over even now. Oh, no. Well, on the inside I could, because it doesn't have one on the inside. Yeah. All right, so we're going to make this a Mark II, so I got to reprint some parts. I got to reprint some parts and print the Mark II parts. That one in there. Put this one in here. There we go. So we need to grab this again. We got to take these off again. Because I need to take these out and they don't want to spin out like the easy way. However, I have a busted screw in this one, so uh-oh. It's a good thing I took those out of there. I need one, because this one's about shot. Maybe I can get it out of there. Damn. Got to pull it out the front first, huh? Come on. There. Take this one out. And then let's see. Probably going to have to go that way. Oh, wait. It's on the inside. There is nothing, so it can go this way. Should be able to. See if I can get this screw out of there. Greetings, sir. Planetary blue, right? Yes, ASA. That's what I printed it in as ASA. Oh, damn it, Aaron. I might have a bigger problem. I may have to just drill it and tap it after all, because this one is all sorts of mashed and mangled, and tried to twist it out with the pliers and it didn't work. And son of a biscuit eating bulldog. We may just have to drill them and tap them after all. So maybe for nothing. Maybe for nigh. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just a silly guy. I'm a silly guy who's really, really battling right now, guys. Like, I need to quit streaming right now for a little while. I need to go relax and lay down. I just got to get this thing out of this hole. I'm a little shaky at the moment, guys. I need to stop streaming. I gotta go in the house and sit down for a little bit, guys. Yeah. Stream is done, guys. I gotta go. Hydrocodone might help. Yeah, no, I've been sick. I've been battling a bug, so I need to go like down and relax for a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. I'm gonna move this printer out of the way though for right now. We're gonna let this thing continue. Ah, old curmudgeon. Well, I'm glad you're on your hydrocodone and relaxing. I have a fresh spool on the way. Well, thank you, AA Ron. Thank you, brother. Uh, yeah, I will talk to you guys all later. Don't forget, JPP is streaming at 10 o'clock. Keela, Jeremy, and the gang are going to start streaming at, I believe it was 7 o'clock Central Standard for both of those. So go look up Just Push Print on YouTube if you haven't already. Go give them a follow. Let's do this. Let me. All right. So Just Push Print's going to be doing a hangout stream starting at 10 o'clock. So go check them out. 10 o'clock tonight, they're doing a hangout stream. And of course, Lee Marie 3D. Those guys will be streaming later tonight with Zany Zach. He'll be there, and they said possibly some other guests. So there you go. YouTube does allow raids, but raiding at this time when they're like, who else is like live right now? Is there somebody live we can jump over to? Let me see if I can do that. Off Axis and Canrog are both streaming. Let's see if it'll allow me to make it so we can head over to Off Axis is working on Droid build, and Canrog is working on some CAD files for looks like the Rook. Rook. Yeah, there's ways to do it. I don't know if I'm able to. I want to see who's currently live so I can check. Canrog and Off Axis both. Okay. Let's grab Off Axis real quick. Let's see if it'll let me do that. Let me go edit my stream and see if I can put it in there. Customization. Here we go. Let's add a redirect. I want to see how this works. So let's see if this is how we do it. But it doesn't see it that way. Huh. Oh, wait. Redirect privileges needed, off axis 3D to add you to their live redirect list in their community settings. Okay, so I cannot redirect you to him. So I was going to redirect you guys to off axis, but that's not working because he's got to allow it. Let's take a look then at Canrogs and see if he's got it. Let's see if Canrog did that. Because I want to start doing that if I can. Nope, Canrog hasn't done it either. Redirect list in the community community settings. So, yep, neither one of them did that, so I can't do that. So, all right, guys, go check out either one of them. Either Canrog or Off Axis. Go check out either one of those guys. I need to go get some water. I got water, but I need to go eat something and sit down for a little bit. I will talk to you guys all later and hopefully catch you guys in the other streams. So, but later, gang.